Alrighty, welcome to Vintage Story everyone. We have reached over 1 million views across multiple different platforms when it comes to the Vintage Story, so I figured I'd get on here and clarify some things in a longer video perhaps about the survival game. Clearly this game has been attracting a lot of people all the way across the board, whether it's new players or returning players, which is perfect. Nonetheless, its overall appeal seems to bring all of us back to it, which is completely fantastic because visually speaking, let's face it, this game is truly one of a kind. Let's not mention its complex survival system that Minecraft doesn't even come close to. Now, with that also being said, there are a small amount of people, it's a small percentage, but nonetheless still existent, people that try to sway others from looking into this game because they label Vintage Story as a mod in Minecraft and nothing more. They falsely spread information which still doesn't make sense to me. It's like they are hating on this title just to hate. Although, technically speaking, Vintage Story did start out as a Minecraft mod. Over the course of its existence, the game has evolved so much so that it became a standalone game as is, because it was that much different from Minecraft. Some people see a blocky environment and they immediately label this game as a mod in Minecraft. And it's simply misinformation. All you have to do is simply go to their website and you will quickly realize from the very beginning that you download a single file, which is a game launcher, which is completely separate and by itself. So before I forget, let me toss this one more closely towards the haters about Vintage Story. Some people state that calling this game a standalone game is absolutely ridiculous and is completely unnecessary. I need you to understand that Vintage Story is running on the separately developed engine. A console gets updated and releases new patches and major updates just like any other engine would. It's not a mod that relies on the Minecraft engine to keep it breathing, so to speak, which is once again making the Vintage Story a standalone game. I don't know why it has to be this complicated to comprehend, but it seems to be a big misunderstanding from a lot of people on the internet. Secondly, why is the game not on Steam? I've said it before and I will say it again. They don't want to deal with any publishers, and any revenue that comes from supporters goes directly towards development of this game. Very simple. Vintage Story already has a massive amount of supporters. This game has one of the biggest modding communities I've seen in a long time. And just like I've said it before, if devs were money hungry and wanted to capitalize on this game as much as possible, they would have already done that and they would have pulled that Fortnite card already. I promise you. But instead, this is a passion project that is solely run by the community, and any feedback that's left on their forums from the community literally could have an impact on the game as a whole. Also, some people on consoles like to throw shame towards Vintage Story and say, oh, well, this game is not on console, well, the player base must be horrible. Once again, you fail to understand that this game doesn't struggle in support from the financial standpoint. This game has always been a passion project, first and foremost. Passion, 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 always passion. And these devs are not in this desperate situation, for the lack of a better term, where any revenue that they make is quickly being utilized. If they needed a financial boost, they wouldn't go about not publishing this game on Steam. Steam alone would boost this game's popularity and crank those sales numbers in an instance. But once again, devs had a different plan in mind. And I promise you guys, Steam does not affect the overall development of this game, not even slightly. It could boost it, of course, because Steam is where the numbers are, but I'm saying it's not affecting it in its current day and age. So, if you play on console only, and you still look at Vintage Story and you say things like, well, this is their loss, I'm here to tell you that they literally turned down Steam. Steam is the top dog in this industry, let's face it. So imagine what console looks like to them if they were able to turn their heads away from Steam. Just saying. Why can it not be on console? The way the game is designed and its inventory system is laid out, the controller would make this game feel more tedious and more obnoxious, which would be doing Vintage Story a huge disservice in my opinion. The game was designed to have things be dragged across your screen from one point to the other. I feel like in order to drop this game on console, they would literally have to rework the whole entire inventory and crafting system. What makes this game so incredibly well put together on PC is how simple its inventory works at this very given moment. It's so simple to just drag stuff across or just immediately activate your inventory system with the press of a button. And because of some of these very strong-minded decisions, that's why I feel like these devs have so much respect from their community. This is a passion project first and foremost. I've never had anyone who already played this game come up to me and say that this game was a complete waste of money and time. Most hate is coming from the players and people, and mark my words, most hate is coming from people and players that never purchased the game, and it's a given fact. You for sure need to know what you're signing up for with Vintage Story. It's definitely not for everyone, I will say that. But if you enjoy the hardcore survival experience, and when I say that, I mean you literally have to craft everything by hand from scratch. Crafting a simple tool will take you a while. It makes you feel emotionally attached to that tool. I think that's the best way people describe it, because it didn't come easy. It took you 5 to 10 minutes to craft, and the higher the quality is, the more time it will take you to craft that item. But to balance all that out, the durability only increases from that standpoint. You can cook and bake over 300 different dishes in this game, but that's just cooking. Let's not mention fertilization and farming process, which by the way has its own little system, and it is more complex than any other game I've played. My personal favorite thing about this game will always be the ambience. It is simply spectacular and done right, and its immersion is what keeps me coming back to it. There's simply no other game, no other survival game I should say, like Vintage Story.